I blew it. I was going to get a 10 on that, a 10. Good morning. Welcome to the Unitarian Universalist Congregation of Columbia. Our minister is the Reverend Stephen Robinson, and my name is Phil Turner. I'm going to be a service leader today. This reminds me of one of the Monty Python's favorite saying is, now for something totally different, because I think we're going to have that today. Our services are streamed on YouTube and Zoom. No matter how you choose to attend, you're always welcome. We encourage everyone to read the order of service, the announcements in the order of service. We also provide a weekly update on Thursdays. And don't forget to check our website, uucolumbia.org. I'm going to call on Craig Chatton. He has a special announcement. Craig?
For those, it's too late to get it into the upcoming event. It was too late to get it into the upcoming events list, but the play night that we had scheduled for this coming Thursday will have to be postponed due to this bully called COVID, who's knocked out a couple of our key players. So the new date will be determined at a later time. So all the work is not lost.
I do have one other announcement. The Social Action Committee will have a table in the social hall after the service. Please come by and sign up for the Pride Parade. T-shirts are for sale. Welcome families and young children. Today, children and youth are invited to bring the toys and books that can be found in the back of the social hall to their seats while they stay in service with their parents. We offer child care for infants and children to age 5. In order for child care to continue, we need more volunteers. There's also paid positions available. To be a volunteer, see Bethany Stolazzi or Jonathan White. And now please silence all devices as we center ourselves for today's service and listen to the prelude.
All the music in this morning's service will recognize and honor Hispanic Heritage Month. Our prelude is the Valse Sentimental by Mexican composer Ricardo Castro. He lived from 1864 to 1907 and studied at the National Conservatory of Music in Mexico City. Later in his life, he also became the director of that National Conservatory. He was a talented concert pianist who gave a tour in the US in the late 1800s and master classes throughout Europe in the early 1900s. And he was also a skilled composer.
Thank you. Please stand if you're able and join me in the congregational covenant as found in your order of service. Love is the doctrine of this congregation. The quest for truth is its sacrament, and service is its prayer. To dwell together in peace, to seek knowledge in community, to serve others in community, thus to be covenant with one another. Please be seated. Unitarian Universalism is a diverse and non-creedal religion. We are a covenantal religion, which means we do not have to believe the same in order to treat each other the same, with respect, equity, compassion, and dignity. Our community is based on deeds, not creeds. We side with love, embracing all people, regardless of age, color, race, socioeconomic status, physical ability, or religious background. We are officially designated by the Unitarian Universalist Association as a welcoming congregation. We welcome LGBTQ plus individuals. Your questions and comments are always welcomed by our board members and committee chairs. Our board members may be recognized by their green name tags. We would like to recognize any guests or visitors who are here today. So visitors, if you are willing and able, please rise and wait for the microphone. Share with us your name and where you're from. Now, if someone has guests with you, please feel free to introduce them. And Amelia will come around with the microphone.
Hi, my name is Miriam Pellegrino, and I'm from Tucson, Arizona. I just moved here recently, but I attended UU Church in Tucson, so wanted to try out this congregation too. Thank you.
I guess that's it.
Visitor Miriam, I will tell you this directly. It's a card in the back of the seat in front of you, and if you fill that out, allow us to be able to contact you and send us our e-blast. We encourage everyone to wear name tags so that we can get to know each other better. At this time, let's take a couple of minutes to greet each other. Greetings. Good. How are you doing? For today's chalice lighting, I'm going to ask my wife Liz to come up, and She's going to light our chalice as a stand-in for Reverend Robinson, who, as you know, is under the weather. Spirit of light and life, come unto us. Now have our musical meditation.
Next, we'll sing together our opening hymn. It's in your teal hymnal, number 1016, Profetiza Pueblo Mío, Prophecy, O My People. And I'm very happy that Nancy Shillington Perez will be with us today to lead us in Spanish language singing. Let me tell you a couple of things about this amazing song. It was written by civil rights activist and musician Rosa Martha Zarate Macias, who came to the U.S. from Mexico in 1968. And she was a champion of the rights of Mexican and Latinx communities in the U.S. She performed benefit concerts in Central and South America, as well as in Portugal and the U.S. And in 1985, she co-founded the California-based Immigration and Citizenship Project, Libreria del Pueblo. In the early 90s, she acted as co-founder of Calpulli, an organization that promotes and develops programs to aid disadvantaged people of Central and South American heritage. This hymn that we'll sing together today was written in 1975, and it was first sung at the Second National Convention of Spanish-Speaking Catholics in Washington, D.C. And I'll invite Nancy to lead you in singing.
Thank you, Anna. Let's go ahead and start. First off, let's read the words in English so we know what we're going to sing here shortly on page 1016. Prophecy, oh my people, prophecy, one more time. Let your voice be the echo of the outcries of all oppressed. Prophecy, oh my people, prophecy, one more time. Announce to them the coming of a new society. All right, now in Spanish. We'll get a chance to sing it in Spanish, but first let's just do the words in Spanish, right? So do your best to pronounce them. It's really easy, A, E, I, O, U, so there are only 5 little options there. So ready? Profetiza, pueblo mío, profetiza una vez más, que tu voz sea al eco del clamor de los pueblos en opresión. Profetiza, pueblo mío, profetiza una vez más, anunciándole a los pobres una nueva sociedad. Excelente, muy bien. Let's go ahead and we'll hear the tune and we'll try it together, okay? Oh, yes. It is kind of an interesting thing with this particular piece that usually we do the stanzas and go to the refrain. It's going to be the reverse here. So you'll see this is the refrain that we'll start with, and we'll keep coming back to this in Spanish. But every time we're at the the stanza in the middle of the next page, those will all be in English. So you'd see one is already written for you in English, and then the rest are down on the right-hand side, down below 2, 3, and 4. But each time between, we'll come back to this refrain in Spanish. Any questions? Okay, you'll get it. We'll have a chance to practice this many times. Please stand with me if you're willing and able, and we'll go right ahead. Profetiza, pueblo mío, profetiza una vez más, que tu voz sea eco de clamor de los pueblos en opresión. Profetiza, pueblo mío, profecía, my mío, profetiza una vez más, que tu voz sea eco de clamor de los pueblos en opresión. Profetiza, pueblo mío, profetiza una vez más, aclamándole a los pobres una nueva sociedad. Announce to all the people that justice promised long, restore to every nation true peace throughout the world. Profetiza, por mío, profetiza una vez más, que tu voz sea eco de clamor de los pueblos en opresión. Profetiza, pueblo mío, profetiza una vez más, aclamándole los pueblos una vez sociedad. Denounce all who are causing oppression, sorrow, tears. Let truth be your protection, the light of a new sun. Profetiza, pueblo mío, profetiza una vez más, que tu voz sea eco de clamor de los pueblos en opresión. Profetiza, pueblo mío, profetiza una vez más, aclamando de los pobres una nueva sociedad. Let this be what you hoped for, the battle that you chose, to build a social order with justice at its core. Profetiza, pueblo mío, profetiza una vez más, que tu voz será eco del clamor de los pueblos en opresión. Profetiza, pueblo mío, profetiza una vez más, anunciándole a los pobres sociedad.
We'll now have our opening words. Emilio?
Before I read the opening words, I want to talk briefly about this person that you see there in the picture. Sorry for the quality. I had to take it from a video because I didn't have a picture of her. This month, we're honoring the contributions of Hispanic people to this country. So I wanted to tell you about Maria. That's her name. Maria worked at the hospital where I work, and she was doing housekeeping, which is cleaning the rooms for people with COVID and, making sure they're clean for the next person and well disinfected. And she died for, doing this. She died of COVID. So this is one of the things that, when you think about the contributions of immigrants to this country, she did the ultimate sacrifice. So And sorry that that's kind of a grim note, but let me leave you with the opening words, which are a little more uplifting. And these words are from Natalie Morales. She's a journalist, and she is a writer. I think she is at NBC or CBS. She works in one of those stations. And these are her words about, Hispanics and our culture. While our culture, traditions, and religion may differ, we pride ourselves on working hard, educating ourselves as much as possible, striving for better lives for our children, loving our often large and blended families, and sharing as much of our history and customs as we can with anyone who chooses to really see us. We are not so different after all. People simply need to see us for who we are and not who they expect us to be.
Thank you, Emilio. Nancy?
Thank you, Phil. I invite children of all ages, and that does not stop at age 12 or beyond. Just come on down if you'd like. We're going to share a little bit more on Hispanic Heritage Month. No, don't blame you. No way. All right. Thank you. Do you mind holding this for me, too? I forgot to get tape. Yeah. So, Hispanic Heritage Month, and thank you for being my guinea pigs down here, and all of you I'm going to be addressing as well. Hispanic Heritage Month. Notice the herit is part of the word inherit, in a sense, comes from, I'd peel off more easily, sorry. I'm just gonna have to go that way. The word inherit is part of the word heritage. So it's to say to receive from your family, perhaps. And it might be kind of connecting it from a bridge from the past, something you might receive, DNA or possessions, what that might be. Something from the past that you would value and enjoy in the present, but then also pass on to the future generations. And so that's part of Hispanic Heritage Month. Formerly, it was 1 week back in '68 with Johnson, and later Reagan, and 23 years ago, decided to make it a month long because there's so much to share. Certainly, Hispanics have been helping contributing to this nation since the revolutionary time, so the American Revolution, George Washington time period. When do we celebrate it? Okay, so it's an entire month, as I said, but not a set month. It's mid-September to mid-October. Does anybody know why? Yeah.
Because the multiple countries in South America and Hispanic countries celebrate their Independence Days.
Rocking it up here. The different countries down South America, various different countries where they speak Spanish, many of them celebrate their Independence Day during that time. You're exactly right. Guesses as to how many countries in the world speak primarily their dominant language being Spanish. Any guess?
21.
21? Man, he's on it. You've been studying this. I love it. 21 countries. I know that shocked me. Even as a Spanish speaker, I didn't realize that many countries. That's awesome. Okay, so what's the difference between Hispanic, Latino or Latina, or Latinx? When do we use these and what do they mean? Well, let's get to Hispanic first. That all has to go back to the idea of speaking Spanish language, basically, that being their culture of that language is so rich. It can be, as you mentioned, in 20 different countries or other places. Yeah, gracias. Latino, when you might refer to someone as a Latino, if he or she or they suggest that that is what is in that person's heart or in their mind, is what they feel, they identify as Latino. Primarily if a male, Latina if primarily a female, or Latinx if that person is non-binary or non-gender, just kind of, because in Spanish that's so set with the O or the A at the end. It's only about 3% who tend to use that way, but maybe we can more and more start using it. Most certainly. So, a choice, always we hope to give everyone, anyone, is to be able to self-identify. And it's a great idea to not just see a person and think, ooh, you're wearing a gobellana? I'd have to ask. Guavera, I always forget. It's the Cuban shirt, if you can show them what you're wearing. Oh, you must be Cuban. You're wearing a Cuban shirt.
In the white hat and the cigar.
And the dominoes. This man habla español. Este hombre habla español. Debe ser Mexicano, quizá. Maybe he would be Spanish if he's speaking. So to just put all those labels on people, we should throw them out the door and just realize that different people want to identify as they would. Now, question for you, and you probably know this, Wyatt. If you are a Hispanic, does that mean that you're Latino as well? Not necessarily, right? So if we're talking about Hispanic being the Spanish language, yes, you speak the language, sí, pero Latino is really identifies more of a place. So on the big globe, 21 countries. You mentioned South America specifically, but Central America as well, certainly parts of North America, being their primary language being Spanish. What about this country, huge country in Brazil, down in South America? Do they speak Spanish primarily? Is that their dominant language?
No.
He knows this. Oh my gosh, do you know what language they speak?
Portuguese.
Awesome! Portuguese. Yeah. So, Hispanic, are they Hispanic? In Brazil? No, but they may or may not identify as Latino or Latinx, right? Okay, so again, coming back to that idea free to choose your identity, let's not assume. So if you see someone perhaps, wherever you may be, it's best not to ask, hey, where are you from? Because you could single that person out. That person likely was born here in the United States. So it's just great to let that person volunteer that information if all possible. So coming back to the end here, how can we choose to celebrate HHM or the Hispanic Heritage Month? Things we could do? Any guesses? What we're doing right now, right? Hopefully learning a little bit more. We could turn on, these days, the magic of TV. You can choose what language you want to see in a movie. So just for a little while, you could choose a favorite movie and see, oh, how cool that sounds. You could try different dialects, in fact. Did I bring my other? There it is, guys, yes. So a handy assistant. This is a map of Spain, and my husband was born in, nació in Valencia. Valencia is the province of Valencia, and they speak a different language there, Valenciano. So he would identify as Valenciano, Hispano, Latino? No. ¿Qué más? So when he has to go check those little boxes that they like, census like to put us in these little boxes, you have to think, well, how do I identify? If he were living in the northern part, we'd be Catalonian, Madrileño if you were from Madrid. So different parts, Andalucía if you're Andalusian. Other ways to celebrate, check out movies, books from the library. Most certainly, I've got a great big bag of books over there. In fact, you're more than welcome to come share with me if you'd like, during this sermon if you'd like. Otherwise, yes, I know you know food such as tacos, burritos, etc., but really getting into the food and cooking some different, more unique things would be wonderful to celebrate. So any way you can help celebrate during this time, all the way through mid-October to have some kind of special time to celebrate the rich history of Hispanics and how we can celebrate with them. Thank you so much. Feel free to go back to the back if you like, or back to the seat, whichever you prefer.
Gracias, Emilio y Nancy. Next, we have candles of community. If you have a significant personal joy, sorrow, or concern you'd like to have shared from this pulpit, Please email or text our minister by noon on Friday. If you would like to share in person, we request that you pick up a candle in the foyer prior to the service. We have an active caring committee for those in need, and they wear yellow name tags. Will those of you who have taken a candle please come forward at this time and briefly share your joy or concern?
Good morning. Most of you know I'm Linda Brennison, and this morning as I was preparing for the service, I received a text from Mark Drews. Many of you know Mark. He is our board president and a longtime member here, and he asked me to light a candle for two reasons. First of all, he asked me to light a candle for the victims as well as the families and communities of the Birmingham bombing. Addie Mae Collins, Cynthia Wesley, Carol Robertson, and Carol Denise McNair. They died 60 years ago this week. May their names never be forgotten. Also, he would like me to light a candle of concern for John and Sharon Matchett. John is experiencing a health issue, and we want to send positive thoughts to the two of them. Okay, thank you.
I'm Caroline Eastman, and this candle is for our cat Nimbus, who adopted us many years ago. Often you adopt cats, this one adopted us. And he died earlier this week as a result of an aggressive and inoperable fibrosarcoma.
Good morning, I am Lee Mingy, and this is a candle of deep joy and gratitude. This summer has been one of adventure. Starting in Vancouver, the excuse to be there was Julian's 90th birthday. So this candle is both quantity and quality driven, I would say. We were in Vancouver with our family who were stay-at-home Long Islanders, but they came. And we celebrated with them and also with the remnant of our friendship circle, academics who are still with us from over 50 years ago. We moved to Columbia exactly 50 years ago. Doesn't seem possible. Following that and a brief change of clothes, etc., we went to London, Julian's hometown, from where we have just returned via the QM2. And that was a wonderful voyage that encompassed our 63rd anniversary. So I am so grateful, and it's good to be home.
I'm Liz Turner, filled with gratitude. I got here early today, though, and encountered so many wonderful members that we have here, members, visitors. They're all hardworking, and I could fill the rest of the time with that. But I'm getting down to 4 people. You've already met Linda Brennison. She is our worship chair and has been working overtime these last couple of weeks. So when you see her, pat her on the back. She's done a great job. I also wanted to point out Richard McLeod, who isn't here today, but he keeps a little file of sermons at hand. So if we need him, he's going to save us every time. So we're lucky to have him. And if you're watching, Richard, thank you. And again, give him a vote of gratitude. 2 other people, one also isn't here, is Bill Dolly and Phil Turner, who, when they heard last week that a tree had crashed in the playground, had 5 words for us. Give me my chainsaw. Give me my chainsaw. 4 words. Whatever. They risked life and limb. Dangerous job. Big tree. They shouldn't have done it. I told them both. They don't listen. And the tree was down successfully. Not easily, but successfully. Probably saved us $1,000. So when you see Phil, give him a vote of thanks too. They lived to tell the tale.
I always do a candle. This one's for my cat too. He's struggling with his health. He's my little 13-year-old, and he's having a time right now, as most old men do. So this is for him, and also to my new roommate. She's starting her new job tomorrow. She's going to be making big girl money.
Good morning. Somehow I managed to lose my candle in between coming in and sitting down. It's one of those days. Tuesday will mark 4 years since my husband Blake passed. So I would light a candle of memory to him. And also a little celebration as my son is doing well in his first year of high school, getting all A's right now, and they had their first exhibition with Irmo High yesterday. He's exhausted and taking the chance to, thank you. Thank you. Taking the chance to rest after being 12 hours on his feet doing this exhibition. And then finally, I am making an effort to do more music for my own mental health, and I'd like to start recording songs from our hymnal. So if anybody has any old equipment that they're not using and they'd like to toss it over, I will use it for our benefit here. Thank you.
We light one final candle for those joys and concerns that remain silent in our hearts. To ponder these joys and concerns, please pause for a moment of silence. This congregation participates in Share the Plate. Half of our cash collection each Sunday goes to a local charity, a way for us to give back to our community. This month's Share the Plate recipient is the Harriet Hancock LGBTQ Center. If you wish to donate to Share the Plate, please write Share the Plate on the memo line of your check or cash envelope. Donations may also be made by using the QR code in your order of service or on our website, uucolumbia.org. Ushers, please come forward.
This morning's offertory music selection is the first Brazilian study for piano by Brazilian composer Cacilda Borges Barbosa. She lived a full musical life from 1940 to 2010 as a pianist, conductor, composer, and educator, and her music was influenced by the folk tunes and rhythms of Brazil. I was very interested to learn that she was also connected to the world of dance and helped to create a system of musical notation that combined with symbols for dance gestures. It was her way to actually write down dance, and her desire was to preserve the folk dances of Brazil, much in the same way that ethnomusicologists preserve folk music.
We receive these gifts with gratitude and appreciation because they show that we are truly a giving community. Next, we're going to see a video, which is originally a TED Talk by Amara Ferreira. The title is My Identity is a Superpower, Not an Obstacle.
Nancy will now share our closing song, Gracias por el amor, Thanks for Love. And I'm pleased to share that this song is from our Unitarian Universalist Spanish language hymnal, Las Voces del Camino. Translated overall, the message, Thanks for Love, is we give thanks for the love of heaven, the immense ocean, and the singing of the forest. For this new day, the love of the earth and our friendship. Alleluia.
What I'm just going to ask you to do, if you could please, is just join in the very easiest last part. It says Alleluia at the end. It's very easy. You'll see how easy it is. And so I'll just sing the 4 stanzas, and at the very end, I'll just cue you in to join me with Alleluia. Okay? Alleluia. Thank you. She even gave you a hint there. Gracias por el amor del cielo, gracias por el inmenso mar, gracias por el cantar del bosque, aleluya. Gracias por el amor del mundo, gracias por la felicidad, gracias por todo mi familia, aleluya. Gracias por todo la hermosura, gracias por nuestra juventud, gracias por las amistades de todos, aleluya. Gracias por este nuevo día, gracias por nuestra gran unión, gracias por todas las bondades, aleluya.
We extinguish this chalice at the end of our time here today. May its flame glow gently in our hearts and light our paths as we leave this place until we are together again.
I invite you to stand for our congregational benediction. We'll listen first to the words in Spanish and sing in English.
Feel free to join me if you'd like to. They're right there in your bulletin, just to the right of the English. Que las benedicciones de la verdad nos envuelvan. Que el poder del amor nos dirija. Y que la paz de esta comunidad nos sostenga hasta que nos volvemos a ver. May the blessings of truth be upon us.
This concludes our service, and welcome, Marion. Thank you for joining us. You are welcome to stay and enjoy light refreshments. Please adjourn to the social hall, grab a drink and snacks, and enjoy visiting with each other.